what's a project that you're working on right now that has you totally fired up, and why?
Well, it has to be Smith OS, and it's exciting to me because I believe it will change how we work and how we collaborate. And I believe that the future of work is blended teams. We went through the transition from being all in the office to like part hybrid teams with remote workers. We went to a transition from all local people to a global workforce, and we have colleagues from every country, right? And now the next stage of that is going to be a workforce with a digital AI coworker. I mean, we're gonna have to think about what that means for the company's virtual escape room.
Yeah, that is it is funny how it probably in the world of AI it's not been fast, but for someone sort of who doesn't live in that space, it feels like it's escalated from 0 to 60 really quickly. And the idea of having an AI coworker that's a new one. That's a new one.
So the current set of AIs is very monolithic and it's just focused on a large model. But the thing is, the larger these models get, the more expensive they become to run. And they also become very hard to control, right? We've all seen the movies. So what you really want is very small purpose driven AI, but that know how to collaborate and work together. Like one knows how to print paper, one knows how to redline and review it, and another knows how to look at it and flag any potential legal issues, right? And by combining them and knowing how to work together, you can have small, economically efficient models that adhere to your security policy, but they're also completely constrained by what they're allowed to do. Like, I'm not worried about my robot vacuum turning Terminator on me, right? It is very, very specific in what it can do. So we have full alignment, we have full control over it. But at the same time, by combining a set of skills and adding a skill like Neo in the Matrix, I know Kung Fu, you can build incredible workflow automations. And that is going to change the landscape of our workflows or process automation and how efficient we can get as a business. By the end of the decade, there will be $1 trillion company on the stock market that is run by 3 people.
So
and of course, Smith.
Yeah, of course, right. So, I'm fascinated by this, Alexander. So I'm curious. I mean, are people building this now, or as you said, like, is this a decade away?
I'll tell you something, right? And this is coming from somebody who lives and breathes in the AI space, knows every new thing that came out today, this morning, that was announced. Okay. I feel like if progress would stop, it would just freeze. No new AIs get released. We would have enough to commercialize and change the world completely over the next 15 years. There is so much untapped application out there for the existing technology. You wouldn't even recognize the world 10, 15 years from now. But not only that, the root technology itself is exponentially increasing in capability. And for your listeners out there, just who are curious, maybe you were impressed with what ChatGPT can do, right? Maybe you thought, hey, I would never see that in my lifetime, right? If that was impressive to you, 2 years from now, that will look like toddlers barely learning how to walk. Think about the alpha models from DeepMind that beat the world's chess players, Go players, StarCraft players, knew how to fold protein and think like a master general, super elite thinking, strategic thinking. You combine that and marry it to ChatGPT, and look what that baby is going to be like. That is what is going to be done with training this year. And by the end of the year, these things will be available to the large companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, not necessarily available in your hands yet. But even the CEO of Anthropic, which is a good player, they make Claude as a popular chat program as well. But a smaller player than Microsoft and Google, right? They said today, I saw an interview where he says artificial general intelligence 2 years away. And that is not the big companies. I believe that in the labs, in the research labs, we achieve a artificial super intelligence this year in the labs, right?
Wow.
But even if that was not true, I have seen so much with the existing technology that if it was fully applied and made its way down the work and everything, right, the world would completely change in the next 10 years, unrecognizably.